Hello everyone and welcome back to yet another video, and for today's video I'm going to share my battles in the Mumbai Ember Cup, which I played in this tournament very recently, and I'm going to share the battles with you. So I've got two parts for this video coming up. The first part will consist of the first two battle set with my opponent, and the next part will consist of the rest of the three battle set which I have played. So I could not unfortunately win that, but I was at a decent standing over for this tournament. So it's a tournament organized by Silph, and for the Ember Cup it is only allowing electric, fire, grass and ground, and 8 wild card entries, that is Poliwrath, Primeape, Surfetched, Machamp, Hisuian, Qwilfish, alolanmarowak, along with Malamar and Honchcrow. And the banned list for this cup is actually Dragon, Steel, Rock, Mud Boys, any Mud Boys. Apart from that, Abomasnow. There are a long list of bans over here. Shadows and Megas are already banned, and apart from it, Abomasnow, Diggersby, Duck Trio, Lantern, Nidoqueen, Ninetales, Pachirisu, Salazzle, and Stunfisk along with Whimsicott is already banned for this cup. So this is the setup for the Ember Cup, and the team which I have got, I prepared it out. I created that team because it was what I felt it's the most versatile team which I played with. So that is the reason I will be going for this team, which consists of Hisuian, Qwilfish, Gligar over here, along with Marowak, Electivire, Poliwrath, and Piloswine in this scenario. So let's see how I can play out with this team in the Ember Cup. And without further more delay into the introduction, let's quickly jump into the battles and check out the first and second battle set. So now moving into the first battle against CZOR89ASTRO's team, I pick up a lead against my Gligar with their Qwilfish. So this Qwilfish have got access to Shadow Ball, along with Aqua Tail, which is super effective in this scenario, and Dark Pulse also. So I have to watch out what my opponent is running over here. So that is the reason I'll be going for the first return over here. That gets the first shield from my opponent's end as well, which is going to be fine. So that is the reason I'll be not staying in that matchup, because that will be a losing matchup. So I'll be quickly safe swapping into my own Poliwrath over here, and my opponent does have got this called onto their mirror Poliwrath, which is absolutely great catch from their end. And from that kind of scenario, it's very hard to come back because they have fielded the return, and they have caught one called onto their Poliwrath as well. But nevertheless, I went for the first dynamic punch that gets the Poliwrath very low, and I thought of shielding my Poliwrath up, but it will not knock my Poliwrath out as well. That is the reason I'll be going for the next dynamic punch over here, getting the knockout for the opponent Poliwrath, and let's see what they have got into their backline. I believe they will be coming back with their Qwilfish once again, because they can get a bit of extra farm down with poison jabs, and they did the same. And now I'll be going to come back with my own Marowak over here, and I can tank one Aqua Tail from my Marowak over here, because Marowak, it's though not very tanky, but it's tanky enough to handle one non-stab Aqua Tail coming from a Hisuian Qwilfish. So I have to shield up the next Aqua Tail, and I did the worst mistake for this battle over here, which, because they came in with a Piloswine, and I swapped into my Gligar over here, which is a terrible matchup. So that is the reason they will be now going for a high horsepower. That gets the knockout for my Marowak, and my friend gets the win for the first battle. Moving into the second battle, I pick up a lead against a mirror Poliwrath, and now from this kind of range, I will be going for the dynamic punch, and I believe which is a CMP tie. And somehow I lose the CMP tie right now, but they went for a Scald. So that's a great call from my end as well, letting the first Scald go through. And now I'll be going for the neutral dynamic punch that lands over here. So this makes my battle a bit easy and different from my opponent over here, because I will be shielding up the next dynamic punch, and if they want to retain switch, they have to go for one shield. So that is a scenario which I have got. And for dynamic punch, it is 6 turns, 6 mud shots actually in the first, 6 mud shot in the second, but 5 mud shot in the third, which I do catch onto my Marowak over here very effectively, and my Marowak can easily handle one dynamic punch. But now they went for a catch onto their own Qwilfish once again, but I did hold on to the energy, and I'll be going for the next Bone Club. So Bone Club, though it's not a greatest move set over here, but it will do enough chip damage for this Qwilfish also to get it down to 50% health. But I can also handle one Aqua Tail, because I will be now going for the next Bone Club just in time, because my Marowak won't get the knockout with Poison Jab, but I will get the knockout with Fire Spin. So now I'm in a pretty good scenario, because I have got my Poliwrath, which is kind of healthy, and my full health Qwilfish over here as well. But I haven't seen the final Pokemon from their end, so that is the reason I will be letting the first move go through, and now I have to shave off my shield, and they have got a Piloswine in their back once again. So I did the right call not taking Gligar in this scenario. So that is the reason I will be going for back-to-back Aqua Tails over here, but my opponent does overfarm in this scenario, which is not a great thing, because they have to shield up. And now from this scenario, I will be coming back with my Poliwrath and sniping them down with a dynamic punch that will get the knockout for this Piloswine and give me the win for the second battle. So there was a very close battle, and I did handle the Poliwrath really good. So GG's to my opponent, well played. Moving into the final battle, and now since it's a 1-1, this is a very crucial battle which I win lead over here. And now from this kind of range, I will be letting the first high horsepower go through. It might be an Avalanche, which in this case is Avalanche, and now I'll be going for the next I thought of going for Scald, but since they swapped out into their Poliwrath, I'll be going for the dynamic punch. So I have to save up my Poliwrath over here, because they have a Piloswine in their back. So I will be going for back-to-back dynamic punches over here, and now I'll be I have to shield up this as well, because they might go for dynamic punch, but I let it I shield up. And now from this kind of scenario, so I think I have actually lost this lead as well, which I missed out in this battle, starting of the battle, because it's a Gligar lead, I think. So that is the reason I safe swapped into my Poliwrath, to which now I think this is going to be one more dynamic punch, which I let it go, and it gets the knockout for my Poliwrath over here. And now I have to come back with my Gligar, because I want to keep that Gligar away from the Piloswine over here in this scenario. But I cannot get the farm down quite over here, because they will be going for Scald, and it does so much damage. And the final Pokemon is going to be a Charizard in this scenario, which is going to be very tough for me, because though I have a Hisuian Qwilfish in the back line, I have to shield up the first Dragon Claw, and now I have to go for back-to-back Aqua Tails, but I did a CMP tie, which is the worst case scenario. So everything going against me right now. So I let the Dragon Claw go through, which might end up be the lose condition for me. But if so, I undercharge and get the farm down onto the Charizard, but that will not be enough, because their Piloswine is quite healthy. And let's see what they come back with. So they comes back with their Piloswine once again. So I'll be going for the super effective Aqua Tail, but it will not get the knockout, because from this kind of scenario I tried to get a snipe in onto their Piloswine once again, but they did a superb catch, and I will be undercharging once again and get the farm down onto the Poliwrath, but their Piloswine is quite out of range of Night Slash, so they survive with almost 3-4 HP, and they have got a loaded Avalanche for my very low Qwilfish, which is going to get the knockout for this third battle, and it will be a 2-1 win to my opponent, which is really heartbreaking for me. GG's. Moving into the first battle of the second opponent, which is going to be ChampionRaj01. So I pick up a lead against Piloswine right now. So I'll be letting the first avalanche go through, which I think is going to be avalanche, which I did correct call correctly. So I'll be going for the avalanche of my own. But now I do have to catch the next avalanche onto my Marowak, which I think I did tremendously well against. Yeah, I did catch the next avalanche onto my Marowak, and this is going to be really helpful for me, because now I can get the farm down onto this Piloswine once again, and let's see what they comes back in with. So they're waiting out the switch clock right over here, and they comes back with their Muck once again. So Muck is also a very good option in this meta, and I did a CMP once again. So I'm not sure how come alolanmarowak loses CMP against Alolan Muck. I am not sure about the attack over here, attack stat over here. So I'll be going to shield the first one, and now I'll be going for the next Bone Club just in time. So now I did I thought of doing a CMP once again, but I am not sure again. So I'll be going for the next Bone Club that gets the shield from my opponent's end, and this is going to be really good, because I have got my very low Piloswine in the back for a sack swap, and the final Pokemon they have in the backline is going to be Electrode. And now they will be going for the first discharge, which I have to shield up, because I don't want my Qwilfish to get very low, to which I'll be going for the win condition, which is going to be a Shadow Ball nuke that will get the Electrode very low, and I have got a loaded avalanche for the incoming Alolan Muck over here that gets the final shield from my opponent end, and my Qwilfish is actually out of Dark Pulse and Sludge Wave range right now. But I did a CMP over here once again, which Qwilfish wins, and I will be getting the Aqua Tail through. That gives me the win for the first battle with my opponent over here. GG's. Moving into the next battle, I pick up a lead against Charizard, which is kind of a good lead until and unless they nuke me with a Blast Burn. So I am counting their moves right now. So I'll be going for the first Night Slash that will be a landing, and they have to shield up the next Night Slash if they want to get switched. So they'll be going for the Blast Burn, which just almost takes me out, and they have to shield up right now, because one more Night Slash will get the knockout for this Charizard once again. But I'm happy to take shield advantage with Poliwrath and my Marowak into my backline, which is going to be really good. So I'll be letting the first Dragon Claw go through, and I'll be getting the Heart Farm over here onto this Charizard. So I have to shield up once, because this will put my Marowak a bit low. So I'll be shielding up once, and I'll be getting the Heart Farm on it, to which now they gives up switch, and they switches back into their own Piloswine, to which I'll be going for the first Shadow Bone that lands and get the defense drop over here, to which I'll be coming back with my own Poliwrath over here. So Poliwrath does have a really good matchup against this Piloswine, and they actually went for a bait over here, which I perfectly call, which was an avalanche. And now for this kind of scenario, I'm in a driver's seat. So I'll be going for the next call that gets the attack drop once again, and they overfarms. Once again they overfarm, so which gives me the extra mud shot through, and I'll be going for the next call, which gets the shield and the knockout for the Piloswine, and let's see what they have got into their backline. So now they comes back with their Muck once again. So I'll be going for the Dynamic Punch that hits for neutral damage, and it will be putting the Muck really low, not too low, but it actually does 60% of its health. And to which now I'll be switching back into my own alolanmarowak, and they tried to catch a move onto their Charizard, which they failed, and I got a bit of extra farm, and now they'll be going for the Dark Pulse. So I did a CMP type once again, so Dark Pulse will be shielded, and I'll be going for the next Bone Club that will be enough to get the knockout for this Muck, giving me the win for the second battle against Raj as well. And now moving into the final battle with my opponent over here for the second battle set. So I pick up a lead against Piloswine onto my Marowak, which is a good lead actually, because this fire spins will add up. So that is the reason they safe swapped into their own A.Marowak over here, to which I have to definitely come back with my Gligar over here, because that have zero play against the Piloswine. So that is the reason I'll be coming back with my own Gligar, and I'll be going for the first return over here. That might get the shield, but my opponent lets it go, which is going to be really nice for me, because the one counter to my alolanmarowak is actually out from the scenario. That is going to be really good, because now I'll be going for the one Night Slash, which does a bit amount of chip damage onto this Piloswine once again. And now I'll be going for the next Bone Club Shield Bait, which I think they might call, but they give up their first shield, which is going to be really good. And I catch the next Avalanche onto my own Piloswine, which I thought of it's an Avalanche, but it ends up being a high horsepower, which is even better. To which now I'll be going for the first Avalanche, but they win CMP tie right now, so I'll be letting this charge move go through once again. So my win condition is actually going to be my Marowak over here, which to which I'll be going for the first Shadow Bone over here. So let's see if they call it, or maybe they can shield it up, which they do over here. And from this kind of scenario, I'll be letting this first Dragon Claw go through. So they again baited me with Dragon Claw, which I think should have been the call of Blast Burn, and now I'll be shielding up, because this wing attack is doing neutral damage to me. So I'll be going for the first Shadow Bone over here. That will be getting the knockout for the Charizard, and let's see if I can reach to the next Shadow Bone just in time, because this Powder Snows are double resisted because of my fire typing on it, and I do reach to the next Shadow Bone just in time before they could reach to the Avalanche. That will give me the win for the third battle and get the knockout for the Piloswine. That ends up the set over here. So that was a really good close battle with Raj, and it's going to be the all for this video, and see you again in the next one with Ember Cup Part 2. Till then, peace.